Yes, it's called the Immortals Project, and it was about locating people and helping them find each other, gathering them who felt that they had a higher purpose. And I feel that more, even because they have that higher purpose, they carry certain characteristics, and in that they show up as what I term soul lines. So soul lines are just like you inherit bloodlines from your physical parents on earth. Soul lines are similar in that you inherit spiritual gifts from where your soul originated from. So if your soul started eons of time before this current incarnation and traveled through a series of experiences or worlds, it very well could have picked up things from its parents, from its soul parents, that manifest as a more spiritual type of DNA rather than a physical DNA. So how I have chosen to discuss soul lines is to use the well-known energy centers every human has, referred to as the chakras. And so I have assigned a soul line to each chakra energy center. So at the root energy center for everyone, that's a very grounded center and has sexuality attached to it. And so I call that the vampire soul line. And it's not only for those reasons, but vampires can be misunderstood. And I believe that their greatest gift, or their spiritual talent that they truly have inherited from their soul origins, is the ability to transform energy. And so that would be what I call the root chakra energy. It's the vampire. The second one up in the abdomen area is the second chakra, and I attribute that energy center to the creators among us, to the artisans. They've inherited a great capacity to be inspired from other realms and bring those inspirations to life here on earth, and they need to create in order to feel alive. And so that energy center is very open for them and very dominant in their overall makeup. The third energy center up from there is the solar plexus area, and it's the physical healer's center. And so these people, it's pretty self-explanatory. They carry gifts of healing from their soul lines, and that's how they express their spiritual talents, is to become healers. The next chakra up is the fourth energy center, and it's at the heart level. And the archetypes, what I call it, is the beloved priest and priestess line. And that's because those are archetypes for the emotional healer. So rather than being gifted at physical healing, they are gifted at helping people heal emotional and spiritual wounds. The next chakra up is at the throat, and it's what I call the messenger line. This incorporates gifts of visionaries and being a seer, being a prophet. It involves feeling as though they need to share the information they've been given. Channelers also are very strong messenger lines, and it could even manifest in things like teaching. Anyone that's in a speaking position or a mentoring or teaching position may have very strong messenger lines. The next chakra is the sixth chakra at the third eye, the forehead, and that is, in my little system here, equated to the shaman line. And their gifts manifest as the ability to travel astrally and merge and cross between realms and bring lessons back from other realms to here, as well as heal soul fragments. And the last chakra is the seventh, or the crown chakra, which is at the top of the head. And because it's very mental in that area, I call it the Magi, or the alchemist. And these are people who have tremendous spiritual magical gifts, as all of the chakras do, but they prefer to approach their abilities to manifest through things like ritual. So they are the high magicians among us and people who study traditional magic systems, maybe Egyptian magic and alchemy and things like that. So that's where their strength lies. Now, these are simplifications and they're generalizations, so very often people identify with more than one. Our three differences from just a general recognition that people all carry spiritual gifts would be to classify them in a way that really grounds them and makes them tie into certain functions, how we can use those gifts specifically in our physical incarnation, number one. Number two is it provides a way to sort people so that they can find each other. So if they're searching for another group of vampires or for a group of shaman or healers, they can utilize the network to find those people and understand what that means, because they have read the background on what soul lines mean and what it means to be a shaman in our system, and that way they know what to expect if they communicate with other shaman. So our system provides a way for connecting to other people. And last, it offers a kind of unique way of looking at where the spiritual gifts came from in the first place. And I just liken it to something like a spiritual DNA that's parallel to our physical DNA, in that there is a real origin point, a point of origin, and a point of creation for the soul, and a parentage of the soul, and a heritage that has been in existence before this current incarnation we're all in, and that heritage is what has determined which gifts are dominant. So it's heritage, it's an explanation for heritage, it's an explanation that helps connections grow and develop, and it's an explanation that grounds and gives practical ways that the spiritual gifts can be used.